G'day viewers, it's Peter from PB's Retro Restorations, like you didn't know that already. Well, it's Wednesday here. I know you're thinking, what are you doing with the video on Wednesday, Peter? It's not Friday. Well, this one has special occasions where I treat you to a little bit extra. It's Australia Day here in Australia. KC over at Metal Mania 3D and also Aussie Modelers World threw out the challenge to build an Australian car for Australia Day. I, of course, with everything going on, have failed to meet the deadline. I was working on one. I'll still finish it. It just won't be for today. But he also said if you can't build a car, have a little bit of a die-cast show for, you know, if you're Aussie cars, if you've got some. And yes, I've got some. I will warn you, it's Mopar heavy. We have a few Valiants. I've thrown in a Holden and I put a Ford in there too, so Casey doesn't get upset. But you know, I'm sure KC and Johnny V and everyone will have plenty of Holdens, so I'll bring up the Valiant, you know, the Valiant end. So have fun. It's not a long video, just a few slides and, you know, pictures of some of my favourite models of Australian cars. Have a great Australia Day if you're in Australia. If you're not, I'm sorry you're not Australian. But, you know, we can't all be, then we wouldn't be special, right? Right.
Okay, so kicking off with the legendary 1972 Valiant Charger RTE 49. This is the small tank version, of which about 120 real ones were built. Only 21 with the big tanks, which I'll show you later in the video, were built. It's one of the rarest Australian muscle cars there is. They only built 1,300 RTs full stop in all configurations, so big money now. Next up, we've got a 1969 VF Valiant Pacer 225. 225 is obviously for the Leaning Tower of Power Slant 6. This is a Bathurst racing version. For our Valiants, they didn't have much luck at Bathurst, but Lord knows they tried. I tried so many times. But anyway. Now, Valiants were the first cars in Australia to have V8 engines fitted to them, but this car, the 1967 XR Ford Falcon GT, was the one that really things started getting serious for performance in Australia. I believe they only built 400 of these. They were all gold except for 4 special Gallagher GT promotional cars for Bathurst. I believe the story goes is the gold was a super special mix that they didn't make any more of, and matching it on a restoration can be quite challenging, but I'm sure the panel beaters amongst you will confirm or deny that story. Now, this is an Australian classic. We'll step away from the muscle cars for a minute, but I challenge anyone in this country who lived through the 60s, 70s, 80s that didn't know somebody who had an EJ Holden Special. They were made from 1962 up until sometime in 64 when the EH came out. These had a 138 grey motor for the most part. These things were everywhere. They really are a true Australian classic. Okay, that's enough of the Holden rot. We're back with another Mopar classic, the 1963 AP5 Valiant Regal. Now, this was the last Valiant made in Australia that didn't have a V8 in it. These were much more powerful than the equivalent EJ Holden. The EJ Holden had, as I said, had a 138. These had the 225 slant, and from the following year you get the 273 V8 in them. Classic. Now, this is Leo Gagan's 1972 VH Valiant Charger RT 49 Bathurst pack that he drove to 4th outright at Bathurst in 1972. Now, I got to meet Leo Gagan once many years ago. He's a lovely man. He sadly passed away in 2015, but he was instrumental in the development of Valiant Chargers and the racing editions. Okay, bonus fact for you Valiant fans, Leo's Charger was actually a vitamin C orange, which is a lighter orange to this, and Trax, the company that made this model, got it wrong. They thought it was Hemi orange, and it's not. This is the star of my Charger collection, the Doug Shivers and Damon Beck E49 Charger. that Doug Shivers, at the age of 50, drove single-handed for all 500 miles of the race and came third. Now, he did lead the race outright for several laps and was in front of Brock and French, and he'd scheduled it so he would only have to make one stop for fuel. That's how big the special Bathurst tanks on these were. While he was in, they opted to change some of the wheels while they had the chance, and because of the heat in them, they couldn't get the nuts back on. That's the story, and they lost 2-3 laps while they tried to get it back on, and it killed it for them. They still managed to come third. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this little slice of Australian motoring history in Diecast. I've enjoyed bringing it to you. I might do another one next year. So I'll be back on Friday at 9:15 with my regular video. Hope you all have a great Australia Day if you're in Australia, or you're not in Australia, or you just wish you were. Stay safe, have fun, see you Friday. Bye!